Batman is my favorite superhero, especially in the DC universe. But the main problem I have with Batman in the live action movie aspect is the whole action versus detective work. A lot of people, when they think about Batman, the first thing they think about, well, Batman is a superhero. They forget that Batman is also called the world's greatest detective. And my problem is they rarely ever put that in the movies, in the feature films, ever. Like, they just recently did it, which most people have been asking for forever. They finally did it in the Batman. But I feel like that was mainly because the Riddler was the villain in the Batman. So I feel like that's the main reason we finally got the actual detective Batman in the movie. Before the Batman came out in 2022, most and majority of the Batman movies, even going all the way back to the Tim Burton 1989 movie, most of the Batman movies have been mainly showing mostly action as opposed to showing Batman showing off his detective skills. Whether it's Batman, Batman and Robin, Batman Returns, The Dark Knight, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, Batman versus Superman. Some of those, mainly it was action in those movies. Some of those movies did give a little piece and showing of Batman being a detective, but not like it is in like the Batman the animated series and stuff. Batman the animated series has so many episodes where he showed his detective skills, like season 1, episode 14, Heart of Ice, where after talking to Ferris Boyle, he realized that it was Victor Freeze who had got in that accident, and he was the one who became Mr. Freeze. Or like season 1, episode 21, Fear Clay Part 2, where at the end of the episode, Batman ran some electricity through a piece of clay that he got from Clayface and realized how it reacted to it. And that made Batman think that Clayface may not be dead after all, that he may have actually faked his own death. Or season 1, episode 23, Vendetta, where Batman found a piece of a scale at the crime scene, which led him directly to Killer Croc. That was the first episode Killer Croc appeared in. Or season 1, episode 25, The Clock King, where Batman found a piece of a watch from the explosion, which led him directly to Temple Fugit, and realized that Temple Fugit was the one who was the Clock King. Or season 1, episode 41, Joker's Wild, when Batman found documents showing that the person that built the casino, Joker's Wild, he didn't intend to build that at first. He only built it so the Joker would get angry and decide to blow it up, and he would get all the insurance money when the Joker blew it up. And in that episode, you actually see the Joker and Bruce Wayne face to face talking to each other. Or season 1, episode 44, Day of the Samurai, where Kyodai Ken comes back to get revenge on Batman, and this time he intends to use the deadly touch of death on Batman, but Batman is able to use his detective skills to figure out where on the mannequin Kyodai Ken has been hitting the most, and that is where he determines the touch of death is, so he avoids being killed by the touch of death. Or season 2, episode 10, entitled Bane, where after Killer Croc is attacked, he told Batman the man who attacked him had an accent. He think it was South American, and that reminded Batman of a project called Project Gilgamesh, where they were trying to create super soldiers, and what they ended up actually creating was Bane. Or season 2, episode 44, Judgment Day, when Batman uses the weapon that the villain has been using to hurt people and hurt the other criminals, he uses that weapon to determine who that villain actually was. He did somewhat use some detective skills in Batman Begins, kind of like how he went undercover to see how poor people lived and how they acted and stuff. That's when you remember Ra's al Ghul told him the world is too small for Bruce Wayne to disappear. And of course, really the only detective thing we ever saw from before the Batman came out was from The Dark Knight, where he was trying to test the bullet to see which bullets matched, to try to figure out which bullets the Joker used for the shooting. And in Arkham City, his detective skills, when he used the trail of blood left by the League of Assassins to follow her back to Ra's al Ghul to find wherever his body was, whether it was in a Lazarus pit or whatever, so he could get the cure to cure himself and the Joker. And Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, where he finally was able to decode the encrypted flash drive that Wonder Woman ended up stealing from him, which contained basically Lex Luthor somehow created the Justice League. I don't know how, but yeah. So hopefully after the success of the Batman, we get to see more detective Batman in movies. Hopefully it wasn't just only because the Riddler was the villain that we got to see a detective Batman. So hopefully it's more to come in the future. As always, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like and subscribe. Trey T out. Peace.